Hello and welcome to the second lesson for learning how to read Tibetan. I'm your host, Adelaide Foster. So, last time we saw the 4 letters on the top. I hope you remember them. You can hit pause and try to read them. That would be a great exercise. I read them for you now. So, ri, me, pu. So we've got 4 letters so far, and today we are going to work with 3 more letters. All of them have the same color because all of them are low and long or aspirated letters. So the first one here is ka. Ka. The second one is ta. Ta. And the last one is a. A. So once again, the 3 letters ka, ta, a. So in the circle we've seen before in the last lesson, these letters all went to the right and bottom corner of the circle, if circles have corners, that is. So we have 4 letters there. We had the pu, now we have ka, ta, a. And the letters we saw last time as well, on also low but shorter letters, are ri and me. And the only high letter we've seen so far is so. So today we'll work with some new concept, because last time we saw that the dots after some letters, after the letters usually symbolize the beginning and end of syllables. So each letter is a syllable, but you can combine them, and this combination create one syllable. Even so, it's 2 syllables together. So the way to combine them, you have to lose something so that they don't stay 2 syllables but become 1. So if we look at the first word here, which means person, people, human beings, so the letter is ma. With the accent or the vowel sign, it becomes mi. So when we look at this second word, we have 2 letters here. So the first one is the same as the word before, but what happens to this ka here? So what happens is that usually most letters, when they are combined, when they are what is called suffix, so they are after the main letter in a syllable, these letters keep their consonant sound but lose their vowel sound. So instead of being a ka, it's just a k sound. So here we have the main letter is easily identifiable because it has a vowel sound. So when you have a combination with one letter having a vowel sound, 95% of the time that is the main letter of the combination forming a syllable. There is one exception, and it's when we have what's called a genitive, and that you can learn to recognize them really easily. It's always the same letter basically. So don't worry about it. If you just remember that the main letter is the one which has an accent, if there is an accent, you're fine, or which has a vowel sound, then that's the main letter. So here the main letter in this second word has a vowel sound. The vowel sound is E, so we know the vowel of this syllable is a E. And now ma is a short and low letter. So what happened to this ga, which is supposed to be long and low, is that it will just follow the main letter. And that's it. So here the combination becomes mik. So we've kept the k sound of the letter ga, and that's it from that letter. And mi is it's the root of this syllable. So mik. It means eye, of course. Eye or eyes. So now we have the last word in this series. It's a bit more complicated, as you can tell. There is no vowel sound. No vowel sign. And therefore it makes identifying the main letter much more complicated. And in this case, according to grammar rules, you can't tell which one was the main letter. It's just that you know that butter is this word, and there is no word that's spelled exactly the same but means something else, and in which the main letter is the other one. So here the main letter is the first one. But yeah, there is no rule per se to be able to tell. You just know this word and that's it, and that's how you know how to read it. When you are in binary, I'm not sure, like usually when you have two letters, maybe 70% of the time, the first letter is going to be the main letter of the syllable. But yeah, it's a bit like flipping a coin until you really know your words. So in this case here, butter is mar. So we kept this r sound from the letter ra, and we didn't keep its vowel, but we kept the vowel from the letter ma, because that's the main letter in this combination, which makes a syllable. So here we have the syllable mar for butter. So these three words, mi, mik, mar. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so that's a reading exercise. I encourage you to press pause as many times as you need to, go back, go forward. I will try to read the words slowly. I do my best. I separated the different words by bigger space. So you notice that some words here have two syllables, and some have one syllable but two letters. So you always have to look for these dots between the syllables. So let's go for the first line. So, ri, me, pu, mik, mar, pumo. Do you remember what these mean? I think we've seen all of them. Okay, so the two next lines are new words. They mean something, but we are not going to learn what they mean yet. So the second line is tak, te, re, par, so, kare, The third line, rak, re, mi, ser, tar, pum, rap. Okay, I hope you were able to read all of these. If you were not, go back, try to familiarize yourself with reading. It's worth it to read things again and again, just to get your brain used to reading, and then you'll become faster and faster, and it will become much easier with time. Okay, so on the right you notice some words, and all these words are represented in these pictures. We've seen all these words, so it's a great exercise to go back and be sure we remember them. They're not written in English because your brain shouldn't rely on English when speaking and reading another language. It can, but it will be much more efficient if it doesn't. Okay, so you can again hit the pause button if you need it, and go back as many times as you need. So the first picture, I'm going to go line by line again. So the first picture on the first line is mar. Second picture, sa. Third picture, pumo. Second line, me, mi, ri. And last line, so, mik. I hope you did well. If you didn't, just go once or twice again. And if you can do it at once, if you don't remember all of them at once, if you do just this like once a day for a few days, they'll stick. So we've got a few new words here. Notice what the dots are. That means that we have a syllable now with 3 letters. So remember what I told you last time, when you have a vowel sign within your syllable, that's where the root letter is, the main letter is. So here we've got, in the first word, a vowel sound E to the middle letter. So the letter before that is a prefix, and the letter after that is a suffix. So what do prefixes do? So far, nothing. We'll see what they can do, but here they do nothing. They are not pronounced. There are some dialects in which they're pronounced, but usually, really, 99% of the time it's not going to be pronounced. So, forget about prefixes for the moment, for the time being. So imagine we only had 2 letters here. What would happen? What do you think happens? So the main letter is the one with the accent or with the vowel sound. So that's se. And we have this suffix which keeps its consonant but not its vowel. So what was that suffix? That's a ra. So it doesn't have this a vowel. So it's just a r. So here we have se plus r, becoming ser. The whole syllable is high and short because the king of that syllable is really the letter sa. So ser. Ser means gold. The next one, you have this heart-shaped brain. It's because it's mind. It's difficult to find a picture for that. The school Estukia, I think that's how it's pronounced, is in Dharamsala actually came up with this PDF to help you learn to read, and they've used that. I think it's pretty good. I don't know, maybe you find a better picture you can use. That being said, so mind, usually in Tibetan culture, it's where the heart lies. I think most cultures in the world, traditional cultures, think the same. That's where we feel, right? So we have the main letter in this word being the first letter. So after the main letter, you have a suffix. And here, after the suffix, you again have a letter. So some people call that letter in English a post-suffix. What does it do? Pronunciation-wise, it doesn't do anything. There is a use for it, but at the moment, it's not really important at all. So, just remember you don't pronounce it. Unless you're from Ladakh, I think that's the only dialect of Tibetan where they do pronounce it. So, here we have the letter Sa with the vowel sign E and the suffix Ma. So you add E to Sa, which becomes Se, and you add M to it, making it Sem. So mind is Sem. And the last word, I added something in parentheses because it makes more sense to learn that now, even so you haven't seen that letter so far. But when we think about the meaning of the things, I think it's a nice noun to know, because if you have these two syllables, it means friend. So a friend is this word. A friend, I'm making you read it. So we have the first letter, that's the main letter, it has the vowel sound. So the first letter is Ra with the vowel Ro. And then we have the consonant of the next letter, Rok. And the post suffix is again not pronounced. So Rok for the first syllable. And the next syllable is Pa. So Rokpa means friend. It's friend in daily life, but literally, if you look at the root, it means the helper, the person who helps you. And one way to remember that is the one who helps you on the rock. So you can remember how to say rock, rokpa. Rock helps you climb the rock. Rokpa, a friend. So we've seen, we have prefixes, we have suffixes, we have post suffixes, meaning that you can have a word or three different words that are spelled differently but that are pronounced exactly the same. So here we have such an example. We have three syllables that are pronounced exactly the same, and that means three different things. So have we seen so means tooth or teeth, and then it can be, if you change the spelling, it means to nurse or to rest. Don't learn the last two. So as you notice here, one of them is a noun, the rest are verbs. So that's one way you can identify them when they're spoken, because verbs are used in different places in a sentence. So I often tell my students that the context is everything in Tibetan. So the context can be the context within a sentence, how the sentence is constructed, or the meaning. is extremely important sometimes to be able to tell what the whole sentence or the word means, what word it was used, actually, especially when you have spoken Tibetan. Like here. Okay. So that's a reading exercise. I'm going to read each line. I encourage you to press pause as many times as you need. So the first line is Sup, said, Sum, Sa. Second line is Sar, Sam, Sem. And last line is Rok, Rik, Rik. So the last two words here are pronounced exactly the same. So we've learned quite a few words, right? So that's an exercise, a flashcard type exercise to help you remember the words. So you can press pause again. I read them now. So the first line, Mar, Sem. Second line, Ser, Rokpa. Okay, so we have this circle that we've seen before. So remember, on the right, longer letters, on the left, shorter letters. The bottom half is low sounds and the upper half is high sounds. So you might have wondered what the prefixes were used for. And I told you before they're not pronounced, but they might change the sounds in this circle, in the syllables. So that rule only applies to words or to syllables in which the main letter is a lower sounding letter, so from the bottom half of the circle. So when the main letter of a syllable is at the bottom of this circle, it means that if it has a prefix, it will move. How does it move? Clockwise, and only a quarter of a circle. So if we look at the letter on the bottom right here, it's te. So te, if you add a prefix to it, it will move a quarter of a circle clockwise to become short, but it's still low. So it becomes de, from te to de. If the letter starts there on the left and bottom part of the circle, like ma, or here the word mar. And if you add to that word, or to that syllable, a prefix, then it will again move clockwise 1/4 of a circle, and it becomes high. Mar. From mar to mar. And that's it. So letters that are high from the start, or syllables that are high from the start, in which the main letter is high, they will never move. Only lower sounding letters move. And only quarter of a circle, and only clockwise. So that's why this circle is very useful. Again, Shukya school came with it, and it's an amazing, brilliant idea because the traditional explanations are very difficult to grasp. So here we have, in one image, you can understand how prefixes work. So we have examples here on the right. So te became te, ko becomes go, tag becomes tag. And just below that we have mar becomes mar, and mac becomes mac. It might be difficult to notice a difference if we are not used to hearing like these kind of differences in tones. That's okay, don't worry too much about it. It comes with time, and also I have to say that there's so many different kinds of spoken Tibetan and dialects that some dialects don't mark the sounds like that. So depending on your interlocutor, the person you speak with, they are not gonna mind if you make a mistake, and if you don't use that, because they don't use it either. It's easier, I have to say, with people who are used to hearing different types of Tibetan dialects. So I would say people who have lived quite a while, like in India, or like Tibetans who are born and raised or have lived a long time in India, are very efficient at adapting and understanding each other's dialects. Okay, so we have a few new words here. They are very important words, like 3 of them are extremely important. So we've read that syllable before in the circle. The first one, so it's a letter ta with the vowel sound e, so it becomes te. Te means that. And that's why the hand is pointing further away. It's because it's that. Te. Next to that, we have, can you guess? This. So this is pretty easy to remember because it sounds a bit like English in a way. Well, the vowel is the same. It's an E vowel. So here we have ta became shorter because it moved in the circle, right? It moved clockwise 1/4 of a circle. So from long it became short. So from ta it became da. And with the vowel sound it becomes di. So di means this. Te that, ti this. The next word, book. Book is long, and we keep the consonant sound of the pa letter, so it becomes p. This consonant is p, like a labial sound. You close your lips when you say it. So the word for book is tep, tep. And then the last word is like well-being, happiness. And that's short again because there is a prefix and the main letter is a lower letter. So it becomes, that's read de, de. Okay, reading exercise for you. Press pause. Really, I think you'll need it. I will read it. I hope to read it like slowly enough. So the first line, sad, said, sum, mar, mar, mak. Third line, ko, go, ta, da, dak. Fourth line, ga, ka, du. Last line, sem, ro, ri. If you had any issues, pause, go back, try to find the answer. Really, trying to find the answer and finding it will help you remember it. If you can't after a while, you can post a message and I will answer. But finding the answer will let you not have to look for it once again, because it's annoying to try to find an answer. Okay, well, that's it for this page. So here we have again reading exercise and vocabulary exercise. So you can use the pause button and you should read each word and then try to remember what they mean. If you don't remember, go and look back. That's the best thing. Look back, use a dictionary, and you'll be annoyed at having to look many times for the same word, hopefully only once, and then you'll remember that word. So remember to hit pause if you need it. I'm gonna read the first line. Mi, mik, mak, sem, rok. Second line. Ser, te, ti, tep. So, mi meant people, person. Mik is eye, eyes. Oh. Mak, we haven't seen. So, forget about this one. Sem is mind. Rok from Rokpa is the helper, the friend. Because he helps you climb a rock. Second line, the first word. Ser is gold. Te is that. Ti is this. Tep is book. So that's a bit of an extra for today. Don't mind it too much. We'll see it again. It's quite important and I want you to get used to it a little bit. So we saw that when we have a suffix, we usually keep the consonant letter. But when you have a suffix, ta or sa, it doesn't apply. It doesn't work like that. What happened with these two is that it changes the vowel sound. So when you have ma and a ta, the first letter being the main letter, that would be me. Pronounced the same as ma and sa, me, or ma with the vowel sound, e, me. Thankfully, nothing changes when you have e vowel. So whether it's sa or da as a vowel, whether it doesn't change a vowel, it's me. That's me, that's it. Same for e. The e sound doesn't change, me. So now comes the umlaut rule. Some people call it the umlaut rule. It's a good example if you know German, how German should sound like, more or less. So instead of mo and s, mos, for example, here you don't say the s consonant, but the o becomes a e, so me. And same thing applies. With the u sound, the u is changed into a u, so mu. These words don't really exist, don't mind them. But The principle is there. That's how it works. With the letter sa and da as a suffix, they change the vowel sound. Don't be hard on yourself with these ones yet. They're gonna come back and we're gonna see them again and again, and you'll get used to it, making it easier, really, to know them without having to spend a lot of time banging your head on a wall or something. So, here we have, I can't really teach that online. I mean, it's a bit difficult unless you have a very good graphic table, I think. Anyway, that's how you are supposed to, the order in which you are supposed to write these letters. That's a traditional way. If you're more comfortable with another way, go for it if it's readable. If you're Buddhist, a Tibetan Buddhist who wants to do the traditional way, go for this one, this way. Or if you like calligraphy, it's a good order because you use a pen that makes a smudge if you don't do it that way. So you can pause there and copy that maybe, or try to write like that. So we had the letter Ka, and now we have the letters A and Da that we've seen during this lesson. So far we've got 4 plus 3 letters, 7 letters out of 30 letters in the alphabet. So this picture for the calligraphy was taken from an amazing book called Tibetan Calligraphy, How to Write the Alphabet and More. It's amazing. Hope you have a nice day. If you have any questions, just comment. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.